I was gonna say no because he mentioned Kesler. I was just curious on him. What's he like? I hated playing against that guy. I'd skate like when we were not just in Vancouver, but when he was in Anaheim, I'd be skating on the red line and he'd take a jab on my calf. I'd turn around and swing at him. He was just a prick. Like and he does those down and backs like blue line, red line in pregame warm up, and he'd splash you if you're stretching too close to the red line. Like, what's his deal?
You guys would be best friends. You'd be best friends.
I highly doubt that. Highly doubt it.
Two miserable guys. Just you know what? He was the ultimate competitor, but he didn't know how to turn it off. Like when he woke up in the morning, he woke up and he hated your guts if you were on the other team. And it was very hard. We just talked about turning it off and on a little bit. It was hard for him, and it still is hard for him to turn it off. He's just a competitor, and he's just thinking, I'm going to beat you. So whether that's splashing you in warm-up with snow on the red line, there's not going to be too many nice conversations if you're his opposition or enemy.
Do you have any battles with him, playing with him at all? Like friendly teammate banter?
We get into a fight a year, at least one fight, like real fight in practice. Yeah. In practice, where we would either drop the gloves or it would just be a gloves on punching in the head, and the coaches. This one time we were on the ice. It's a long story, so I'll shorten it up for you, but he blocked a shot like we all do. Well, what he liked to do is he liked to make sure everybody knew.
Everyone knew about it, yeah.
So for 3 weeks, and when we walk out the tunnel to go on the ice, it was like, it was Sedin, Kesler, me, Burrows. So I always walked behind him, and he was limping for about 3 weeks. Every time we'd walk onto the ice, he would limp, and then he'd get on the ice and he'd skate around 1,000,000 miles an hour. So I'm like, enough. We get it, right? So I start mocking him the one time, walking on the ice, probably to play you guys. And Burrows is behind me. He's laughing. He turns around and he sees us, and he didn't talk to us for 3 weeks. And you go to the rink every day.
You can't ignore anybody.
If Carlson didn't talk to you for 3 weeks while you're playing, like it would be so weird and awkward. Like you're at the rink every 100%. Day. He sits beside me on the bus. We were roommates at the time, so he didn't talk to me for 3 weeks. And Burrows eventually just apologized. And I said, screw this guy. Like, I am not apologizing. I'm holding my ground. So anyways, there was some tension building up, and we're on the ice for a morning skate one day, and most of the guys get off the ice. And I'm just like, I'm mad at him that he's mad at me. So
I get it.
So he's at one end, like shooting pucks in an empty net. Rick Bonus is leaning against the boards, and there's only me at one end and Jeff Tambellini, if you remember him. He's on the ice. So I just start firing pucks down the ice in Kesler's direction, just trying to get some sort of reaction. So I hit him in the skate a couple times, just what I planned. And he looks down at me, he goes, "What the F's your problem?" And I go, and I just beeline at him, and I like drop my gloves, and I'm like, let's settle this. And Rick Bonus is against the glass, and Jeff Tambellini's like, "Bones, they're gonna fight. They're gonna fight." And he goes, "No, they're best friends. They're best buddies." And then he sees me drop my gloves from like the other zone and starts skating after him, and like Bones sprints across the ice like, break it up. So we had a couple of those situations. Yeah.